welcome to my channel. My name is KITSCHY and this video is a get ready with me Q&A style video. As you can see, I have already done my makeup for this intro, so be warned, there's a jump scare coming shortly when I have no makeup on, but I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to drop me a comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. Let's go back to when I had no makeup. Just be warned, just be ready for the no makeup shot because it will shock you. Probably should have done a jump scare into that because I've just done my intro with makeup on and now I have none. As you know from the intro, I'm doing a Q&A video and I'm actually going to get ready as I do it. Don't know how this is gonna go because I struggle with like talking when I'm doing my makeup, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. There might be points where I pause filming just to get on with my makeup a little bit and then come back, but we'll see how I get on. I am gonna start with my eyebrows, so hopefully I can answer questions while I'm doing my eyebrows because I've done my eyebrows so many times that I'm so used to doing it. I ask questions over on Instagram through NGL, so all of this is anonymous. I think I probably already mentioned this in the intro. I am filming on my phone still because I still haven't replaced my broken camera, which I broke at download this year. The sound might be a little bit off. I am still in quite an echoey room as well. You know, I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. The first question that I got was, what was your last IG search? And I had to look this up before because I'm filming on my phone. I had to look this up before I started filming because I'm not entirely sure what it was, but turns out my last IG search was Lidl. It was for Lidl because I wanted to go and see what Halloween stuff they had posted on their Instagram because I shared some photos on my story and I'd been to Lidl. So Lidl, nothing exciting, nothing juicy, it was just Lidl. I am gonna have to concentrate doing this. I thought I could manage. Obviously I can't. It's actually really hard talking while you're trying to do something so perfectly. The next question is, you think looks matter more than personality? And I wouldn't say that's true. I don't think that's true for me. I find it really difficult if someone has a bad personality or someone has like bad personality traits, I'm gonna struggle to get on with them. I'm gonna struggle to like be with someone like that. I don't agree that looks matter more than personality. For a lot of people, looks are the first thing that you see when you meet someone, so you will make an impression immediately on the way somebody looks, and like immediate attraction is normally from looks. It's not going to be from personality because you don't know that person. You are just basing your opinion on how they look. So looks does play a part in it, but I think looks plays a part in anybody's taste in people. You do immediately make assumptions based on the way a person looks. So like if a person looks alternative, I'm gonna, you know, talk to them because I'm alternative. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Like I'll be attracted to people that look alternative rather than someone who was like a jock, because it's not my type, and I know that their personality is going to be somewhat similar to mine because they're, you know, presenting as an alternative person. I don't think that they matter more. I think personality definitely matters more in the grand scheme of things because you need to know that you can like get on with someone and you share common interests and stuff like that. So it's not more important, but it definitely plays a factor, but I think it plays a factor for everybody, not just me. I just finished my the outline of my eyebrows, and I realized I also wanted to film TikToks today, so I'm gonna go over to TikTok really quickly and film a couple of transition beginnings and then come back and finish doing my makeup so that I can make more content. This is what you do as a content creator, so the angle might change and the way that I look might change between now and after I finish filming some TikToks, so I will be right back. And I'm back from filming TikToks. I also did just film, or thought I was filming, like 2 minutes of me answering a question there. Because that's why my eyebrows are filled in now, because I didn't have them filled in, but I've already filled them in. I thought I was filming on my phone and I didn't even realise the red bar wasn't at the top, it wasn't recording, so I've just gone and answered a whole question. And I feel like I answered it really well, and I'm not going to be able to answer it as well again now, which is sad. I lost all that speech, all that effort into answering a question, but I guess I'll just answer it again. Annoying, but it's my own fault for not hitting record properly. I have no idea what kind of makeup look I'm going for. You can see all my moisturiser, it's making me look super shiny. Hopefully when I put on my foundation I will look a bit more matte. But I always think I look dead weird when I just have eyebrows and foundation on. I look like a very bare person. Anyways, the question I did answer was, what's it like with your own flat now? And essentially, I'm gonna have to try and paraphrase everything I said because I think I spoke for about 2.5-3 minutes about what it's like having my own flat now. now, and all of that's gone. It's been good. I am really enjoying being alone. There's been challenges. It's not been all perfect and amazing and everything's been great. Like, I've had some difficulties adjusting. Oh, I don't like this. What was I saying? Let me find my brush. I've had some difficulties adjusting to this because I am an adult, but I have been living at home my whole life. So I lived at home a little bit longer than I kind of thought I was going to, but it's just the way that it happened for me. I had to readjust to not having my parents like immediately there because I wasn't living in their house anymore, and that's been quite challenging. Like, I miss my mum so much, and it's not like she's away. She's not that far. She's literally half an hour on the road, so she's not far away, but readjusting to, like, you know, not being able to just nip down and have a cup of tea with her, or her immediately being there to kind of speak to. The same with my dad, just like not having them immediately accessible so that I can speak to them. I mean, I speak to my mum every single day, I text her every day, but that was definitely a challenge that I didn't think I would struggle with as much as I did. I thought I was ready to move out, and you know, I'm 25 now, I'm an adult, I've had my own independence for a long time because I've had my car, and you know, I would come and go as I pleased and everything, but that was something that I really had to take a wee bit of time to adjust to, and even now I don't think I'm fully adjusted to the fact that my parents aren't immediately there, but I'm getting used to it, so I'm definitely progressing. Yeah, I didn't expect it to impact me as much as it did at the time. And then there's, you know, there's been problems with moving in, and when we first moved in, we didn't have any furniture in here, so we've been trying to get sofas, get a TV stand organised, we had to buy a bed. I did make a vlog, I just haven't actually edited it together because I never finished it, so what I might do at the end of this video is just do a little close off for that vlog and get it up. I can't remember what was in it. I can't remember what I filmed for it, but I definitely filmed stuff because I was gonna do a moving out vlog. I don't know how long I've been here for now. It's been really good living in my own place and having my own space and having an extra layer of freedom, because it's not that I didn't have independence and freedom when I lived at home. It definitely did. It's more so that when you move out, you do have an additional layer of independence that's kind of added because you're now responsible for things that your parents were responsible for in their home. I mean, like bills and electric, things like that, that, you know, you never have to deal with when you live with your parents, because that's, you know, it's their home, they have all that organized and they do all of that stuff. So that was definitely something. And then, like, if I want to go away to the shop at 2 a.m, no one's going to question me, and that's something, that extra layer of independence is something different to what, you know, you're used to if you live with your parents. Because if you were to get up at 2, 3 a.m and just get in your car and drive away, someone's going to be like, where are you going? Why are you leaving? It's the middle of the night, what are you doing? And sometimes you just want to go to the supermarket at 2 a.m when it's quiet and you're not going to get overwhelmed by people or children. Additionally, like, the other thing with living on your own, which you don't fully put into perspective until you move out, is how expensive everything is. I know we're in a cost of living crisis, I know things are very expensive, but I didn't fully understand it myself personally because I've never been in that position where I was paying for all of these things. And now that I am, it's like this realization of, oh, it is actually very expensive to live on your own, or to, you know, to rent a flat, because we haven't bought this house. It's not bought, we're just renting. And just the cost of everything, you just don't fully realize until you move out. It's quite an expensive thing to do, really, is what I'm trying to get at. Overall, I'm really enjoying living in my little flat, and it's so close to town. So before, I used to live in the countryside and it was quite hard to get to anything. There wasn't any shops around. I couldn't just go for a walk at night because it was pitch, well, I could if I wanted to, but it was pitch black, and there's nowhere, you know, you could really go at night because I did live in the middle of the countryside. So that's such a big difference. We went out on a night out last weekend and a taxi cost like 7-8 quid to get back home. I mean, I'm saying that like I go out every weekend and I go and do things. I've literally gone out once since I moved in. Overall, very good. I feel like I've tried to fit in everything that I accidentally didn't record, and I've made it even longer the way that I've said it. I think the first time I said it was clear and concise and I knew what I was going at, and then realizing I wasn't recording has thrown me off. But I'm gonna try and finish this eyebrow and then I will do the next question. How does Bailey Sarian do this? How does she talk and do a full face of makeup? It's so hard. I'm not even exaggerating. This is so hard to do, talk and do your makeup, because you're trying to think of things, but you're also trying to concentrate on not ruining your makeup. I think I might just do my full base and then I'll come back for the next question. In an attempt to keep my hair out of my face while I'm putting on my base, I have to sit like this, so it's probably a good thing I'm doing my base away from the camera right now. I think I need to go find a hairbrush brush and something to pull my hair back because this hair is becoming a challenge. I'll be right back. I managed to find a hair grip thing. But I've basically done my base. All that you missed there was put on my foundation. I then did my concealer and then I set my face with powder. Nothing that exciting that you missed. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm still recovering from a really bad cold. It wasn't very well, but it seems to be on its way out. Although I can still hear it in my voice a little bit when I speak. This is a Q&A video, not just a GRWM. Let's GOWI get on with it. I had to really think about that. My brain is not fast enough to process what those letters were. Next question. Would you genuinely ever sell feet pics for the right money? No. Short and sweet answer, no, I'm not taking photos of my feet, and you can't convince me. No amount of money can convince me to take photos of my feet and send them to strangers on the internet. Kudos to whoever does do that. It's not for me. I don't want my feet pictures on the internet. Would you rather always need to pee or always have a constant itch? I think I'd always rather have a constant itch because you don't always have access to a toilet, so if you needed to pee all the time, you would just be wetting yourself everywhere. So I think I would much rather be itchy or have a constant itch somewhere all of the time. It'd be unpleasant, but it would be more pleasant out of the two. What are some of the weird questions that you've had? I had to write all of the questions down on a Word document so that I could read them off my laptop because I'm filming on my phone. And I don't know if it's the same person or if it was lots of different people coincidentally all at the same time, but I had loads of questions about peeing. So I've taken a lot of them out. I'm just not answering those, but there was a lot of them, I'm not gonna lie. So this time round, those are probably the weirdest questions that I've ended up getting. Your favourite Poppy song? She has a new album out soon. Honestly, had no idea she even had a new album out. I was meant to see Poppy ages ago, and then the gig got cancelled, rescheduled, cancelled, rescheduled, cancelled, rescheduled, and then eventually just cancelled, and they said that they'd do another tour and we got refunded money. I've not seen Poppy yet, and I haven't really listened to Poppy since all of that happened. So I'd probably say that my favourite song is Concrete or Girls in Bikinis. And I feel like that's a very typical I don't listen to this musician kind of answer, but those are my answers. Can you sing? Right now, absolutely not. No, big no, because I'm still recovering from whatever cold that I had. I'm not a very good singer, but I enjoy singing. I'll sing along to music. I don't think I would ever get up in front of a crowd of people and sing. I don't think I'd ever sing and record myself. That's a lie. I played guitar and sang in like 2020 or 2021 or something when I was just beginning TikTok, and I did post that on TikTok, but I think that I got embarrassed about it, so I took it down. I have sung and filmed it and put it on the internet, but I don't think you'll be able to find it anymore. I might be wrong. It might still be up. Now I sing along to music. I sing along to my favourite songs, my favourite bands. I don't really sing in any capacity that you would consider a singer to sing. Big brain energy moment there. What am I talking about? Do you have beef with any other social media creators? So as far as I'm aware, I would say no. I don't think I do. I don't know if anybody has beef with me or a problem with me. I don't see why they would. I can't really see myself ever being in a situation where I have beef with someone online because, I don't know, to me it just feels like it's not worth it, especially if either you don't know the person personally. If someone says to say something about me on TikTok that wasn't true, I'd maybe then have beef, but I'd much rather resolve the problem and figure out, you know, why they're saying something about me that's incorrect or nasty or something like that. I wouldn't consider myself a nasty person. I really don't think I'm a nasty person. Obviously, most people will say that about themselves. Even nasty people will say that about themselves. But I would never go out of my way to cause drama or cause beef with another person because they're working in the same, like, online community as me, like online creative community as me, or they copied my TikTok idea or something. Like, TikTok is just a cesspool of people copying other people's ideas. That's all the app is. There's hardly ever you come across original content on that app. I wouldn't cause beef with anybody because of that, and I don't think that anybody has any beef with me. I don't think I've given anybody any reason to have beef with me, so I'm gonna say no. And honestly, if you've asked this question because you know someone has beef about me, unless it's something that they want to come to me and address, it's not gonna bother me because I don't want to get involved. I don't really have the energy to deal with online drama. Not worth it to me, and I don't want to get involved. No, I don't think I have beef with anybody, and I don't think anyone has beef with me. I think I'm just going with a normal brown smoky eye for my makeup. I'm not really doing anything that great because I've realised that I cannot talk and do my makeup at the same time. I'm not very good at it. I am not a Bailey Sarian, so if you've come to this channel for Bailey Sarian style content where I talk and do my makeup, ain't gonna happen. This is gonna be a very rare occurrence because this is so difficult to do. Are you a vegan? No, I'm not a vegan. I'm a vegetarian, and I went vegan for, I'm gonna say it was about a month. It wasn't very long, and that was more just to test if dairy was having an impact on my stomach because I have really bad stomach issues, and I wanted to know if I cut out dairy, would it solve any of these issues? And the only dairy at that time that I was having was chocolate and cheese. I don't really eat any other dairy. I don't eat eggs, so eggs were kind of out of the question. So really it was more just to see if it did have any impact, and it didn't make any difference to me. So I went back to being vegetarian. Especially when I moved out, it was just more convenient for me to be a vegetarian at that point. I don't think I would say no to going vegan again. I definitely think I didn't find it that challenging, so it's definitely something I could do again. I think it was more picking things up in the shop and then realizing that they had like the tiniest bit of milk or something in them, or milk powder, and it was just like you have to be more aware of the things that you're picking up when you're vegan, because you might assume that this meal or this thing that you're buying doesn't have milk in it, and then it has the tiniest little bit of milk powder in it. I definitely would consider going vegan. Not just now. I think maybe in a little while I'd maybe consider going vegan again. But for the time being, and for like the past 10 years or something, I've been a vegetarian. I don't eat meat anyway, so it wouldn't be a difficult transition for me, I don't think, to go vegan. Are you one of those girls who drinks liters of water a day with one of those massive bottles? It's kind of funny that you've asked that right now, because I literally bought, I'm assuming you mean like the big flasks that keep your juice or your water cold. I bought one of those last night, and it's due to be delivered next week. So I am about to be one of those girlies that carries around the massive flasks with her everywhere full of water, but at the moment, no. Actually really bad at remembering to drink water because I drink so many other fluids. I drink a lot of coffee, I drink a lot of tea, I drink Monster. I forget that, oh yeah, you actually have to drink water by itself on its own sometimes too. I don't do that currently, but I'm hoping that with this bottle that I improve that. I don't think I'm going to become one of those girlies that drinks liters and liters of water every single day. I just don't think I could do it, but I'm going to try and improve how much water I drink, because right now I don't drink enough of it. We'll see how I get on, but it's the cutest flask. I can't remember what the name of the branded flasks are, but this was just like a cheap version. To be completely truthful, saw it on TikTok Shop, and I very rarely buy things from TikTok Shop, but I saw it last night and I felt, why not? I'll just buy it. Treat yourself. I got one of those and it should arrive next week. The one that I've got is the Halloween printed one, and I don't care about it being Halloween because I'm a Halloween all year round kind of girl. How did you get into the alt scene? I was never like a really baby emo. I think I probably got into the alternative scene when I was around about 12 or 13. I definitely listened to alternative music when I was younger, but I never developed my own music taste until I was in my pre-teens, early teen years. And I met a boy and he was in a band. That probably was like a kickstart of getting me into the alternative scene. So my older brother was a scene kid and he was in a band also, and I listened to some of his music when I was younger but never fully got into it that much. And the same with my dad. My dad would listen to a lot of gothy music, a lot of alternative music, and I would hear it in the car, so I knew a lot of music at that time. I didn't have my own personal music taste, and I also went through a bit of a chav phase when I was like first in high school, so I had a lot of music that I listened to which was more chavvy, really. It wasn't alternative. But I started listening to bands like Green Day and Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Panic at the Disco, that sort of stuff during the Tumblr era, the really toxic Tumblr era that I know a lot of you remember. During that era was when I really got into the alternative scene. I used to go to a club in my local town that was like a music club, I guess. I can't remember what it was called, like what the club was called. I can remember what the place is called, but if I say the place, it gives away where I grew GRWM. The place used to host these nights on a Friday where it was everybody just got together and jammed together, and I didn't really go to play, I just went because it was a place for me to meet other people, other teenagers that were into the same sort of stuff as me. And from that, and from like, you know, being with my boyfriend at the time, I just got really into the alternative scene. That was the start of it, and honestly it never really ended. Once you kind of get involved with that scene, you begin to learn more, you discover more bands, you discover more music that you're into, and then you turn out a 25-year-old emo that never ever left her emo phase. So that was probably, you know, how I got into it. Like, yeah, there was McFly and Busted that I listened to when I was really little, but I never really noticed that I liked that music because it was more alternative and because it was a bit punk rocky. I didn't realise that until, you know, I was older, and I can kind of put it down to that. But my brother and my dad definitely have a huge part to play in the way that I turned out and the music that I listened to and the styles that I'm into, because they were alternative and they were both into alternative music and alternative scenes. My dad was a wee bit more like gothy, I would say. Artsy goth. He was an artsy goth. And then my brother definitely went down the route of scene kid and punk rock kind of stuff. And then I ended up, you know, like developing my own taste. My phases were more in punk and pop punk, I suppose, and I did have like a wee bit of a phase where I was really into goth stuff, but I definitely think I ended up going more down the like punk emo route of things. Is that a good answer? I feel like that's not a very good answer, but it was just the stuff that I enjoyed when I was a teenager. How are you settling into your new place? We are settling in. There's definitely work that still needs done, and we're still needing like certain pieces of furniture. We've not got a table to eat at yet, so we've been eating at the sofa, which I don't particularly enjoy. So the next things on our list is like a coffee table, dining table, dining chairs, but we're definitely getting there. It's beginning to feel more like a place that I live in, not just an empty flat. I started putting up the ivy that went around my bedroom and fairy lights and stuff, and immediately after I put those things up, it began to feel like this is my flat, this is my place. It began to feel more like a safe place rather than just an empty house, which was really nice, and I think I really needed that, because earlier on I did say that I had struggles with like my mum not being there and things not feeling like home because, you know, you're picked up and you're popped in a new place kind of thing. So it's been really nice decorating it, and there's still things I need to do. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done to make it feel exactly the way that I want to, but these things don't happen in 1 or 2 days. These things take time to actually, you know, accumulate furniture and move things around until it begins to feel the way that you want it to feel. And I definitely feel like I'm settling. Sometimes I go through this like mindset phase where it feels like I'm living in an Airbnb and that I'll give the keys back to someone I know when you rent you give the keys back to someone eventually, but it feels like I'm just staying in a really long Airbnb letting at the minute, which is a little bit weird. Sometimes that plays on my mind a wee bit and I'm like, do I actually feel comfortable here? Do I feel at home here? Or do I feel like I'm gonna have to just get all my stuff together and get out again very soon? But I'm sure that'll pass with time. What I might do is finish off, because I've been filming for far too long, I might finish off my makeup, come back and answer the second, oh god, there's so many questions, the second half of these questions, just so this video isn't really long. So I will be back once I finish my makeup. I finished my makeup off camera because it was taking me far too long to speak and do my makeup at the same time. I am not Bailey Sarian, I don't know how she does it. I finished the makeup. I kind of just did the basic look that I've been doing recently. I didn't do anything special. I was kind of tempted to do a Halloween look, but I'm wanting to film some other content today, so I figured I'll just go for my basic normal look. But my Halloween aspect are these cute little wings. I bought these off of Temu and they're just so cute. I kind of think I want to put them further down so that they sit more at the sides. This is what we're going with just now, my cute little bat wings. I feel like I can't move in case they're gonna fall off. I also haven't done my hair. I was gonna straighten it, but I can't really be bothered, so just gonna leave it a wee bit frizzy. I am gonna finish the rest of the questions now, and it'll be so much easier just to talk through them and not be concentrating on doing my makeup or anything. The next question is, would you do a house tour? And I would love to do a house tour, but I think I will leave that until the flat feels more full and more like it's finished. Right now, we still have a lot of things we want to put up on the walls. There's a lot of things that I want to get up. I still have my 2 massive bag of stuffed toys in this room that I'm in just now. I haven't put them anywhere because I don't really know where to put them. So it's not finished yet, and I'd rather wait until everything was finished and complete before I did a house tour. I have put up some pictures and things on Instagram as I'm doing them, and I'll continue to do that as we get stuff. There's still like half of our living room hasn't got anything in it because I want to put a dining table there. Just a little one, just a little dining table with chairs so that we have somewhere to eat, but we've not bought that yet. And there's also things like a coffee table, I think I mentioned earlier in the video. So there's things we still need to get to make it feel more like it's finished, and I want to decorate in this room so that I have a nice backdrop for recording in. I've just not had the time to sort of figure out what I want to do with that yet. But once everything's done and once it feels like it's a bit more complete, I will 100% do a house tour. I'll probably do one for TikTok and I'll do one for YouTube. What is your favourite hair colour that you've had so far? So I actually think, as much as I loved the pink and green, I still love it and it's still like one of the favourite hair colours I've ever had. I am loving having red and orange hair. I think it suits me. I think it's just, I love it. I love the hair colours that I have right now. I really think that they just work really well with my face. They work with the way I do my makeup. They work with the way that I dress, and I love it. So I think currently the hair colours I have at the moment are my favourites. How are you finding living alone? So I don't live alone. I live with Ethan. I don't know how I would cope if I was living alone, because there's been some nights where it has been a real struggle for me, and just like sometimes I am like, today I'm in the house by myself, and sometimes it does start to feel really lonely, and I don't know how well I would cope living just by myself. I think I'd really struggle with not having someone there, especially moving from a family home to a new flat. I think I would really struggle if I was alone. It's been really nice having him there as well, so it's not just me by myself. I'm not on my own. I am living with someone. I love your style. Thank you. Where do you buy your clothes from? So I get a lot of my clothes from KITSCHY or Disturbia, or if I'm looking for something that is a wee bit more affordable, I will look on websites like Romwe and Shein. I don't really use Shein that much because they stole my designs, but I know Romwe is owned by the same company, but they often do have much more affordable alternative clothes, and I always find Romwe has nicer alternative clothes than Shein does. Sometimes I'll get things like little accessories and stuff I'll get from Temu because again, they are just more affordable, and I know that all of these brands that I am listing, they are fast fashion brands. I'm not trying to say that they're not, they definitely are, but with the cost of living and everything at the moment, you do need to understand that some people need a more affordable alternative to buying clothes, and unfortunately it is these brands that are the ones that are more affordable. There are also places that I've shopped on like Vinted. I put some of my clothes up on Vinted, and I still have a bunch of things up on my Vinted, so if you are looking for secondhand clothes that are things that I've bought and styled before, I will put my Vinted link on the screen, and I'll also include it down below in the description box so you can go and have a wee look at my Vinted. But Vinted's another great platform that I use to find, you know, like unique pieces and pieces at a more affordable price, and I've never been bothered about wearing secondhand clothes. I used to wear my big brother's clothes all of the time. I would probably still wear his clothes if he still gave me hand-me-downs, but he doesn't. It's definitely like a really good affordable alternative to buying clothes, especially KITSCHY and Disturbia. Like the prices of KITSCHY and Disturbia aren't in everyone's budget, and there is a lot of that on Vinted, so it's definitely a good one to check out. There is also places like Attitude Clothing. Attitude Clothing also has a lot of alternative things, and then you've got your brands like Vans and Converse and Doc Martens, stuff like that for shoes. I actually don't buy an awful lot of clothes, so you'll probably see that I recycle a lot of outfits. I go through outfits. I wear clothes until they need to be thrown out, unless it's something that I just don't take out my wardrobe anymore, and then it goes up on my Vinted. So there was a lot of KITSCHY up on my Vinted because I had them and they just don't ever get out my wardrobe, and I think it's really sad when clothes don't get to live that life. So I'd much rather that someone who was going to wear them got them. I had a huge wardrobe clear out about a week or two ago and put everything up on my Vinted and got all those parcels out, and it was just nice knowing that those clothes that I did once own but never really wore are now going to someone who is going to wear them and wear them until they are in pieces and they need to go in a bin, like I do. But those are probably the best places to kind of buy alternative clothes for me. I can't think of anywhere else that I typically look when I'm trying to shop for something. Charity shops, that's another good one. Charity shops, there is always something that you can work with charity shops. Like, even if it's not alternative, I found that I can do things to it to make it more alternative. So the outfits, I'll put a picture up here so you can see. The outfits that I made for Ethan and I for the Heavy Music Awards, those were blazers that I bought from charity shops, and there was 2 separate charity shops that we got those from, and I spray painted them, I added studs to them, I added chains to them, and I just made them alternative, and they were just standard suit jackets and blazers. Like, they weren't branded as alternative, I just made them alternative by DIYing and customizing things. So that's another great way to take a piece of clothing that isn't typically alternative and making it look more alternative, is doing something along the lines of that. I hope that helps. Of your tattoos, do you have a favourite, and if so, which one and why? I think I have favourites. I do really like all of my tattoos, but I have a couple of favourites, I think. So the one I got recently done on my arm, I'll include pictures up here so you can see them. That one is definitely one of my favourite ones because it was the first tattoo that I had done on my arm, so like in a place that's more visible all of the time, and I'm obsessed with it. I really, really love that one. The tattoo I got done last year in August or so along my stomach, another one of my favourite ones. So I have the word reckless written on my stomach in brutal lettering, and I'm obsessed with that one. Really, really love that. And my bat on my leg or my knee, I really love that one as well. And the bat and my arm were done by Mark Hart Tattoo on Instagram, and my stomach was done by Charlie Gates Tattoo. So I'll include those links down below so you can go check out their work. Out of all of the ones that I have, I think those are probably my favourite tattoos. They were my most painful tattoos, but I think they were my favourite. Is there any bands you want to see live that you have yet to see? Avril Lavigne. I really, really want to see Avril Lavigne at a concert. I've never ever been to see Avril Lavigne. She did play in the UK earlier on this year, I think she played down in London, but I don't think they came up to Scotland, so I never bought tickets for it and I never got to see Avril Lavigne, but I would love to see Avril Lavigne. I think my little heart would just not be able to handle being able to see Avril Lavigne in the flesh in real life. I think that would be a really, really cool and fun concert to go to. But there's also loads of other bands I haven't seen yet that I would really, really like to see. Bad Omens being one of them. Would really like to go see them. Who else is there? There's probably quite a lot. I'd have to actually sit down and think about who I have and haven't seen, because even just this year I've seen so many artists live this year that I never really thought I would get to see, which has just been crazy. So yeah, there's probably quite a few, but off the top of my head, Avril Lavigne would be the very one at the top of my list that I wish I could see. And Kesha. Would love to see Kesha. I think that would be a really cool concert. If Kesha was playing like the 2010s era of her music, I think I would love that. What is one major attribute or personality trait you look for in a partner? Probably having similar interests to me. That's definitely something that's really important to me. I think I would struggle to be with somebody who wasn't into the same things as me, because I think it's really important to me being able to share those experiences with someone. So being able to go to concerts with them, be able to go to festivals with them, and enjoying the same music and not having to split up because you're going to see 2 completely different genres of music. I don't know what the word is. I think it's just something that like I need that to be able to connect with someone, that mutual ground of understanding and interest. I find that really important, because if I don't have that with someone, then I don't feel like there is going to be a connection there, because music is something that I connect with a lot of people about, and it's definitely something that I've connected with a lot of my online community over is music. So I definitely feel that in a partner I'd look for someone who was into the same things as me. You know what I mean? I'm really struggling to understand what I'm thinking of in my head, but that's the sort of thing that I think that I look for in a partner, is just someone that is very much into the same scene and the same things that I enjoy. What is your favourite pasta dish? I'm gonna be really plain, boring and simple here. I love a good old pasta bake. I think that's probably my favourite pasta dish. I love pasta bake, it's so good. Or tortellini, also a good contender, up there at the top. But I probably would go with pasta bake because it's plain, it's simple, it's easy to make. I don't need to know how to do anything to make it. You're just pouring stuff in there and shoving it in the oven and it does the rest. So it's a really easy meal to make and it just tastes really good. So I would say a pasta bake. What is your favourite drink? Probably coffee. I love coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. Against that would would probably be Monsters, because I did try and cut out how much Monster I drink, because I went through a phase where I was having far too much of it and I had to kind of wean myself off of it because I was definitely getting addicted to it. So I would say coffee is up at the top and then Monster. Or I could even, if in coffee, if I could put a chai tea latte, like a dirty chai latte, in with the coffee section, that would be up there because I love chai latte. I went out and did the groceries today and I bought the chai powder that you put into milk to make a chai latte. That's exactly what I'm gonna go do after I finish filming this video, is go try and make myself a good chai latte. That's another drink that I really enjoy. What is your favourite crayon? Do people just go around knowing their favourite crayon? I don't think I have touched a crayon since I was a toddler. Like, they are so uncomfortable to hold. They have such an oily texture that I don't like crayons. I'm gonna go with I don't have a favourite crayon. Don't know if that's the answer that you were looking for, but unfortunately that is the answer I'm giving because they're uncomfortable to touch. Your current favourite song? So at the moment I am definitely going through a bit of a emo scene kid kick and I'm getting really into that sort of era of music again. My favourite song at the minute is probably You're So Creepy by Ghost Town. But an old song, not a new song by any means, but I really like that song. When you have some free time, what sort of hobbies do you like to get into? So at the moment when I have free time, I'm either bouldering or I go to the gym or I go out for walks, but the weather has been a bit crap recently, so I've not been going for that many walks. So I don't really know if that's a hobby for me at the minute. I like to go and sit in cafes and just have a little coffee. I know it's not a hobby, but it's like an enjoyable thing I like to do if I have spare time. But bouldering is probably the hobby that I'm trying to develop at the moment. Started climbing at the beginning of the year and I went through a phase where I just didn't climb. I think it was maybe 2-3 months where I had to take a wee bit of a break, and I'm just getting back into going climbing again, so I've been trying to do that a couple of times a week if I can. Other things I do is just play on my Switch or try and do something creative, whether that's designing new earrings or, you know, putting earrings together or trying to come up with how I want to lay out my stall at markets. Just something that kind of gets my imagination going and gets my little creative brain turning its cogs so that, you know, I can produce something, because I really enjoy being creative. If you were transformed into a pizza, what sort of pizza would you be? Interesting question. Don't know how to answer that one because the only pizza I ever get whenever I get pizza is margherita. Plain tomato based, cheese, easy, wham bam. Yum. But I feel like I am not as plain as a margherita pizza. I'm not a controversial person, so I wouldn't say I'm a ham and pineapple pizza. I feel like I'm maybe a bit spicy, so we'll have something that's a bit spicy. I don't really know what spicy pizzas you get. Does a barbecue base with cheese count? I don't know, that's a really tough question. What kind of pizza am I? I'll go with pepperoni because my hair is red. I'm a pepperoni pizza. Even though I don't eat pepperoni, I am the pepperoni pizza. What do you rank higher, cookies or brownies? Probably cookies. Cookies are easier to eat because they're not as sweet, but I do love a brownie and I do have a sweet tooth, so I love a warm brownie with ice cream or whipped cream or pouring cream, just one of those. Chef's kiss, so good. But you have to be in a mood to eat it because it's so intense and so sweet. If I was just going to pick something up out of a shop, I would definitely be drawn more to cookies because cookies are just like elite. Like, they're so good whenever you know, like, you just have a cookie and it's not as intense as eating brownies. And shop bought brownies are never as good as the ones that you get in a restaurant where you get your pouring cream, it's a little bit warm, a little bit of ice cream or something, and then raspberry. That's for restaurant. I feel like brownies are a restaurant food. Or cafes, like you get good cafe brownies, but I'd probably put cookies above that because I'd probably be more drawn to pick a cookie if I was just doing a grocery shop. Would you do any photo shoots with balloons? I don't see why not, but it just makes me think of a photo shoot that my brother did when he was in a band as a teenager. That's the only image of that, my like brother's band era that I remember, and from that era in his life, the one thing that I remember is the photo shoot he did with balloons. But I don't see why I wouldn't do a photo shoot with balloons. I've just not done it. I think you could do some really creative things with balloons in a photo shoot actually, so it'd probably be quite a cool one to do. Are you cool with us saying hi if we see you? Absolutely. I've had people come up to me at festivals or when I'm at gigs and just say, oh hi, even when I'm out having a night out, or you know, like I'm way past the point of being drunk. I've had people come up and just say, hi, oh I follow you on TikTok, I know you from Instagram, even Facebook or YouTube. Not very many people know me from that, but it is really, really cool to meet you and I'm always more than happy to have a little chat with you. There's strange thing for that is I don't see myself probably like as having this following. I just see myself as this regular person. I know that sounds really weird, but you never, at least I've never come to terms with the number of people that follow me on social media. It's never really like affected me or the way I present myself. So when people do come up and chat to me, I'm always just like, oh my god, you know who I am? Like, I find it so surreal. It's just a very surreal experience to have. I'm absolutely more than happy for you to come up and say hi to me if you ever see me. It's really, really nice getting to meet my followers and getting to meet the people and putting faces to, you know, just usernames and profile pictures of people. It's really cool, and it's an experience that's just like, you know, I can't really explain it, but if you do ever see me at a festival or a gig, I'm not scary. I'm 5'2" or 3. I think I'm 5'3". I am not an intimidating person by any means, so I'm always more than happy to have a wee chat. Go piss girl. Go piss girl. Good question. What is your goal in life? I'm just gonna go basic here and just say to be happy, because like living a life where you are unhappy and you're struggling with things like that, it makes it very difficult to feel like you're living a life. So I don't have any goals where I want to be a millionaire, I want to move to a certain place, I want to live in a certain place, I want to have a certain lifestyle. I just want to feel like I'm happy and feel like I'm content with my life and not have the anxieties of things like, you know, living up to certain standards. So it's very basic answer to that question, but being happy would be my one goal in life. How do you find social media and does it impact your mental well-being? Oh, there's a lot to unpack here. There is a lot to unpack with this question, and I don't think that I'm going to fully go into unpacking this one right now because I am very grateful for social media and what it's done for me, what it's done for my career, and what it's done for my business. Very, very grateful, and I can't put that across enough. I don't really know how to put into words how grateful I am for social media and the impact it's had on my life. But in terms of the impact on mental well-being, it has had a massive toll. More so when I first got into doing social media and first got into content creation and putting out content on TikTok. That was when I struggled the most. I think I've grown a bit of a thicker skin through the past, like I've been doing this for 3-4 years now, so it's been a while that I've been doing this, and I've definitely in that time grown a thicker skin to comments that people make about you. When I first started doing TikTok, I was not in a good headspace at all. Absolutely not. Was in a really, really bad place in my life, and although social media gave me a creative outlet, the comments that came from that had a massive impact on me, and I would take every single thing that any person said to me to heart. And even though these people are hiding behind profile pictures that aren't them and hiding behind accounts and just being little keyboard warriors, everything that they were saying I was taking personally and I was taking it to heart. And I had to learn that if I wanted to keep doing social media, I couldn't do that, because if I kept doing that, I was just going to dig myself into my grave. Basically, with growing a thick skin, I've gotten a lot better with dealing with like nasty comments or hateful comments, but there's certain things now that I experience that I didn't experience so much at the start. Things like creative burnout, imposter syndrome, that one for sure. There's now this standard that I have put on myself. I'm not going to put this on anyone else. I've put this on myself, that people expect to see me a certain way, and that's made it very difficult for me with like not wearing makeup and being comfortable out of my skin. And although I'm getting better, like I started this video off without any makeup on, I'm definitely getting better at dealing with it. It's been one of those things that's been quite a challenge for me, and it's been quite difficult overcoming that and being able to, you know, like appreciate my natural self and how I look without makeup, and not thinking that everybody is just looking at me because of the way I look, or, you know, they're thinking about the way I look. Oh, if I shouldn't have worn that jumper, I shouldn't have worn those trousers, I shouldn't have worn this or that. Like, those are thoughts that I've put in my head myself because of the way that I perceive myself. But that's definitely something that I'm still working on and still trying to get a little bit better. It does impact me quite a lot, and I'm not even gonna say like how much it does impact me, but it's definitely something that's present in my life because of social media. The way that I think people will expect me to be or expect me to appear. I hope that makes sense. I'm kind of rambling a little bit. Overall, it has had an impact on my mental well-being. Not always bad. There has been things that have been good for my mental well-being, like the community of people that I've met and feeling like I belong in a community of people. Like, that's amazing, and that feels really, really good for me. Meeting the people that I've been able to meet because of social media has also been amazing. The things that I've been able to do have been amazing, and like that sort of thing has a really positive impact on my mental well-being. But then you have the negative side of social media, and you kind of expose yourself to that when you decide to make content or create content on any platform. You risk people saying nasty or mean things to you, and it's just a case of learning that it's just a reflection of themselves. It's not on you to deal with that or answer back to them or argue with them. You just have to see it, let it go, and move on. There's been that. There's definitely been ups and downs of social media and its impact on my well-being, but it's been good. I'm not gonna be sat here making YouTube videos if I didn't enjoy aspects of it, if that makes sense. And we are on to the last question. I don't know if there's been more questions since then, but this video is already going to be like 45 minutes long, so I'm gonna cut it now. If you had to fight one, would it be 10 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? I'm gonna go with 10 duck-sized horses because I feel like that would be easier to fight than 1 horse-sized duck. That sounds terrifying, and ducks are kind of cute, but geese, if it was a goose, geese are terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I'm going to finish this Q&A now, because if I don't, I'll be sat here all day and I have other things I need to do today. So I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up down below. Leave me a comment down below if you want me to do another Q&A style video. I might do it in a different style next time, where I'm not trying to do my makeup, because I have learned from this experience that I cannot talk and do my makeup at the same time. The next time I do one of these, I'll maybe go out and do it in my car and get coffee, just sit and have like a chat with you. But let me know down below if you have any questions you'd like me to answer in my next video if I do another one of these. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane,